self-care resources that we're providing during National Health Center Week and beyond. Obviously, we're going to keep this page up as much as possible. I just wanted to give you just a little bit of background. This particular discussion, nutrition discussion, is with myself, Ty Ishman, who's a licensed dietitian. There's other videos with her and a discussion I had with her earlier on the site. And then also we included Nigel Clark, who's one half of Vegan Way. You can actually find the Vegan Way on the interwebs, as I call it, Facebook and Instagram. They have some really cool ideas and recipes that they share with you. At first, the conversation was just going to be 10 minutes max, and then we just got on a roll. We're just discussing, what they're going through with during the pandemic, making sure that there's healthy eating, and of course, I provide a couple embarrassing moments and small freakouts about what I've been dealing with and just trying to keep it. So we just, all of us have so much on our shoulders as we're dealing with this. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a good laugh, and I hope you learn some stuff from it and get a good laugh. So enjoy the part one. Part two, just when you're ready to watch part two, just click on it. It's right there on the next to it, right on the page. Thank you so much and have a great one.
And we also have a website, The Vegan Way. And what we really try to share is like quick, delicious meals that are vegan and gluten-free.
Perfect, thank you. So we're just, the three of us are gonna just talk, and there's gonna be some various, questions that I will bring up just to bother you two about, healthy eating. And I know this week, we are focusing on it. And so the big elephant in the room that I would like to just bring up first and figure that this would help us with our conversation is, how has the pandemic affected your usual eating patterns and food choices?
Mm-hmm. That's actually a great question. So in the beginning of the pandemic, it really didn't affect us a lot, right? Because people weren't really going for the veggies and the beans. But I don't know, halfway through it, it kind of changed. And we used to go to that plant-based aisle with confidence, and things started to disappear. So, you had a little bit of the scarcity of items and, that mad run that everybody was doing. But it's really meant that we cooked at home a lot. We did before, but even more so now. It's really meant that you had to buckle down on trying to cook things that are nutritious and yummy, but also easy, right? Because you're at home all day, you're, teleworking, you're homeschooling. And so we're really like, let's get into what we can do in the crock pot, what we can do like baking casserole, like supersized servings, and food ordering, right? Using Instacart and using, convenience things to not go out. So it's changed quite a lot. It's been challenging.
Yeah, I will say, for me, because I walking to work, I always try to get my steps in and go to the gym, and of course all that was null and void. And
Absolutely.
then I was trying to then focus on extra healthy eating, and would have like meltdowns because I'm mature in the supermarket because my fruits wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like one particular big box store, I will not name names and shame anyone, but they haven't
Name it.
they have not had this frozen fruit combo bag in probably 4 months. I go in there to the point where I've done it in the mornings, I've done it midday, I've done it at the evenings, I've done it on Sundays. I'm to the point where I've offered to actually bribe a staff member to go in the back, or at least here's my number, text me when this shipment comes in. I mean, it's
absolutely.
So I've had to like suck it up and figure out what fruits were in it, and then just kind of buy the smaller bags and kind of make my own version. That was because it was getting to the point where like I was my chip selection at my house was getting wider and wider and bigger, and I was like, okay, not
yeah. Definitely have to flexibility, right? Trying new things. We had some gluten-free flours that we really liked, some brands that, the texture was right. We got our recipe mixes together, and then you go and it's a run on your favorite flour. So now you have to do something else. So we've gotten into chickpea flour and quinoa flour. You're like, okay, this is the only flour left. I'm gonna have to, make it do what it does, right? So yeah, I agree. You definitely had to be flexible about trying new things. But it's good because now you got some, new favors, right?
Yeah, I'm still mad. So I know, Ty, as you're hearing the two women without children. Well, how about you, especially because for us, like Nija said, you can be flexible and maybe have a small temper tantrum, but still get through it. How have you? Not saying that your boys have temper tantrums, but how have you dealt with it?
Yeah, so I'm very similar to you guys. I have had little temper tantrums where I've had to talk myself down and say it's not a big deal. There's other choices that you can have. For me, I've definitely felt like I have used every kitchen tool and appliance. I have felt like a real mom because I have been cooking the desserts, the crock pots, the casseroles. I mean, we had a couple.
Bread.
Yeah.
Right. We've had some celebrations, so I've had to use the stand mixer. I mean, I've been using all the tools, which is good, because that's why we bought them. The bread maker, I mean, seriously, every small kitchen appliance has been in use in the last few months. And with teenagers, lots of snacks. So that's always the big thing, and just having a variety of snacks, and even more snacks that I typically would have at the house because I just don't want to have all those kinds of snacks in here. But just the reality of knowing that they are home, all day. And, sometimes you do want that little treat when you're at home. So I try to keep it balanced. We always have about 4 to 5 different kinds of fruit at home too, because to me, that's always a free snack that you can have. Let's not eat all the grapes and cherries in one day, but, it's good to have that variety. But then I've had times I've had to kind of back up from it too, to say I think we have too much variety because, there's the things the kids like, there's the things that I like, and, we don't have money and resources to waste. But like you said, as far as availability, or even going to the stores and things that are seasonal, I've noticed that you're like, maybe there's certain fruits that come out this time of year that are imported items are super expensive. Like, what was it, for instance? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it now? Oh my God, I'm drawing like a complete blank. Anyway, it's a fruit, lychees. Yes, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Super expensive, and I mean, that's not something that we grow here, but it is something that you're like, oh, let me get a couple of those now that I'm seeing it. But it was quite pricey. So I think just like you guys are saying, just really having to look at alternative things, alternative venues to get the things that you need. Nigel and I have talked about like our fruits and vegetables. Sometimes you go to the store, the flowers, everybody's baking, everybody's making everything. So typically sugar was something I'm like, seriously, there's no sugar, there's no brown sugar, no confectioner sugar. There's no
Don't
yeast.
talk about the yeast. The yeast was gone for months.
Right.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had 2 straggling packets here that I could use. Yeah. So, that's been interesting. But, I think that depending on what's available in your area and what your transportation is looking like, I think something that we've been able to do here is really utilize our local farms and CSAs. We've used some delivery services that we've had, Nige, some mixed reviews about.
Yes, for sure.
For sure. So I think in that, though, that has caused us to find some really awesome local resources. Mm-hmm. There's a co-op that I think both of us use since the pandemic started that has been absolutely fabulous. Like, it's super, like what I can get for $25, I could never get at the grocery store, maybe the farmer's market, and it has been like fabulous. So I think it's been good because you do get that, change that makes you, do some things differently.
And when you were talking about resources too, I don't know what it's like in the Atlanta area, but I know for us here, a lot of the bigger restaurants are actually setting up pantries. So
Right.
you can actually go in. I mean, and this was especially at the kind of sort of beginning
Mm-hmm.
when everything was shut down. So you could go in and buy, and they were selling just like basic foods, but
Mm-hmm.
also they were selling paper goods, and they weren't trying
Mm-hmm.
to sell toilet paper for a pack of five,
Right.
a pack for $5. It was for 69 cents because they get it all like on wholesale. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's something new. And I know last week, um a friend there's two friends that I see all the time. We kind of keep our cluster very small so we can see each other once a
Mm-hmm.
week. And we
Right.
actually picked up a dinner made from a local restaurant that was,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no freaking way. I mean, it came with like this salad that was like so. I was like, it is for three people, right? I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Unfortunately for me, it had olives in it, and I am not a fan of olives. So it was like me as I'm picking, like I turned into like the child sitting there picking and flicking olives at folks and stuff like that. But
Right.
it was, I've noticed that that's a big thing too, is that, restaurants kind of utilizing what they have and
Mm-hmm.
continuing to make them good money, but giving us really good home cooking without us having to go and healthy home cooking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Mickey D's or anything like that you can get without having to sweat in the kitchen for 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. It's only recently that I've gotten into the like really quick weeknight meals because I think I've like burnt myself out cooking these really, elaborate mama Sunday dinners.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, adapting in a lot of ways. You think, oh, I'll make a casserole for the week, but by Tuesday, everybody's over it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
just really finding those quick things that are still nutritious. And also, what I've done better with is kind of preparing things because, and Nigel and I talk about this all the time. I think Chris, you and I talked about this too. That I love the idea of like food prep for the week, but
Mhm.
I am completely resentful of spending Sunday doing all the things.
But
So what
see,
I've learned,
I'm completely opposite. I live by it, right?
ugh,
Because during the week, I'm too tired. So if I
mm-hmm,
don't meal prep on Sunday and Saturday, then that's it. At least
mm-hmm,
Monday, I can go in feeling great, knowing like, okay, even if you don't do your complete meal, if you do a big thing of quinoa and you do a big thing of tofu, and then you can make bowls and tacos, but at least,
mm-hmm.
you have a start. So then you can really do your 30-minute meal.
So that's the part that I've been doing, exactly that part. Just not
Mhm.
doing the incomplete meal
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
Sunday, but maybe make one meal and one element of another meal. And then
Yeah,
Tuesday, make something else, to go with it. So that
absolutely.
has made me become a little bit smarter about the way that I do things because, like you said, I do want a nutritious meal. I know that, my kids are not getting out like they used to. Um, I want things that they can get to quickly and appreciate, and I want to be able to have a good, decent lunch too. But also, I'm exhausted. Yeah, when I come home, so I don't want to be doing all that every time.
Yeah. And also, Chris, to touch back on what you were saying, for we live on opposite sides of Atlanta. And for us, Shad and I, we live like on the south side, and it's a food desert. So we have to be really strategic about when we go into the city or if we get our food boxes that, we have enough food for a week or 2 weeks. And so a lot of times, we want to go ahead and saute greens and freeze things so that we can have them for a prolonged period of time. We really kind of, like Ty said, we use the local farm pickups, and we use those national brands where, you go online and order and things like that.
Mhm.
But restaurant wise, because of our dietary restrictions, sometimes it can get dicey. So for us, we do a lot of at-home cooking. But like I said, we try to prep it. We try to think about how we can slice and dice it. And then, like I said, you always have those go-tos like tacos and pizza and spaghetti that you can kind of chock full of vegetables and stuff to make it easy, but it's not a big complicated